Look closely at how a woman acts when she first meets you. She isn't trying to see how nice you are. She is trying to locate your structural breaking point. In human psychology, a high-value target is never accepted at face value. It is tested, pushed, and challenged to see if the internal framework holds true. If you fail to establish structural boundaries within the first 72 hours of an interaction, you are quietly cataloged as low-tier asset, an emotional cushion, or a temporary stepping stone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we are breaking down the 5 psychological parameters that dictate human respect. If you compromise on even one of these dynamics early on, you destroy your masculine leverage permanently. But if you enforce them cleanly, you become the rare prize she will actively fight to keep. Let us break down the system. Parameter number 1 is the concealment of your utility baseline. The single most common mistake made by the average male is the immediate display of his functional capabilities. Men are hardwired to prove their competence. They want to show they can solve problems, navigate logistics, and provide immediate stability. They think that by showcasing their lifestyle, their professional status, or their material reach, they are building attraction. But the female subconscious processes this data very differently. The moment you lay out your utility profile before a deep emotional bond is secured, you cease to be a romantic prospect. You are instantly categorized as a functional utility. She stops evaluating who you are and begins auditing what you can do for her infrastructure. You might think you are just sharing parts of your day, mentioning a business milestone, or casually detailing an expensive project. But to her subconscious mind, you are running a desperate marketing campaign. True psychological leverage belongs to the man who remains an unsolved equation. Your resources, your networks, and your strategic capabilities should be deep water, invisible from the surface. Let her navigate her own real-world friction without you swooping in to play the hero. If she hints at life complications, transport issues, or logistical bottlenecks, you remain supportive but detached. You say, "That sounds like a complex situation, but I have full confidence in your ability to resolve it." By refusing to become her free logistical advisor, you force her to seek your presence, not your performance. Parameter number 2 is the immediate rejection of low-value social framing. Disrespect never enters a relationship like a sudden storm. It creeps in like a slow leak. It begins with small-scale behavioral tests, a sarcastic comment wrapped in humor, a subtle interruption while you are speaking, or an intentional delay in tracking your communication. The average man rationalizes these microaggressions, telling himself he is just being easygoing or avoiding petty drama. But silence in the face of a boundary test is not perceived as peace. It is documented as submission. Women possess an acute social radar. They are constantly measuring whether your self-respect is a genuine barrier or a hollow bluff. They cannot deeply value a man whose personal perimeter can be breached without consequence. Picture an interaction where she attempts to lower your status in a social setting, making a sharp joke at your expense to look clever in front of peers. A weak man folds into a defensive laugh. A high-value archetype shifts the entire room's gravity with zero emotional output. You do not react with anger. You do not return the insult. You simply pause, look directly into her eyes with total neutrality, and say, drop that specific tone immediately. The absolute absence of emotional heat combined with a direct command, signals a terrifying level of internal control. It establishes instantly that you are a sovereign entity, not a social playground. Parameter number 3 is the strict rationing of your attention capital. The value of any asset in a market economy is directly tied to its scarcity. Yet the moment a man experiences a high level of attraction, he completely floods the market with his availability. He treats his presence like a free utility, responsive to every midnight ping, ready to dismantle his predefined routine at a moment's notice. When you make your attention an infinite resource, you kill the psychological space required for desire to exist. A woman's mind requires mystery and anticipation to fuel attraction. If you are always accessible, there is nothing to pursue. There is no challenge to solve. A man driven by clear purpose dictates his own temporal reality. If an invitation or a communication sequence falls outside your established operational hours, the response is deferred. You do not apologize for having a life structured around your goals. You do not over-explain your schedule. You simply maintain your frame. When she realizes your presence must be earned through alignment and respect, the psychological value of your time skyrockets. You cease to be a convenient option, and you become an exclusive destination. Parameter number 4 is the refusal of unreciprocated psychological offloading. This is the modern trap where men morph into an emotional processing center for a woman who has taken zero accountability for his world. She begins utilizing your mental bandwidth to vent about past chaotic cycles, family dynamics, or toxic social circles. Do not confuse trauma dumping with genuine intimacy. True emotional bonding is a mutual transactional investment. When she unloads her psychological clutter onto you without making a corresponding investment in your peace, she is using you as a free therapeutic sponge. You are absorbing her negative energy while receiving absolutely no romantic or masculine polarity in return. The high-value frame requires a clean boundary on what enters your psychological field. If the conversation veers into chronic complaining or past relationship trauma early on, you redirect the energy firmly. You say, "I prefer to focus our dynamic on the present moment and where we are going, not the loops of the past." This phrase instantly snaps her out of the victim archetype and forces her to meet you on a higher level of conscious interaction. Parameter number 5 is the mastery of the absolute free state. The ultimate test of your masculine sovereignty occurs when she intentionally creates a behavioral vacuum. She pulls back. Her messaging becomes brief, or she introduces a cold distance into the dynamic. The standard masculine response is immediate panic. The man starts overcompensating, chasing validation, sending multiple texts, and begging to fix a problem he didn't even create. This reaction confirms her deepest suspicion that your emotional stability is entirely dependent on her approval. Chasing a receding target only accelerates its retreat. Attraction can never be rebuilt through increased labor. It is revived through the sudden, absolute withdrawal of your energy. When she steps back, you do not step forward. You freeze. You match her distance with a total vacuum of your own. You give her the exact space she requested, allowing her to experience the cold reality of life without your attention. A woman of true alignment will notice the immediate shift in power and return with real intent. If she does not, your boundary has successfully filtered out a low-investment connection before it cost you your sanity. Configure these parameters into your life early, and you will never have to negotiate for your respect. It will be commanded by your very structure.